guys, I'm Bethany.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is Looking for the Middle.
The Christian Girl's Guide to Modern Dating.
Yes. I don't know.
You never know what to say.
I don't. I need to think further into the future than
you really should.
That, because I got nothing.
Yeah. We're back with CouchCast.
Yes. That. There we go.
There we go. Let's go with that.
And we only have a couple weeks.
Oh my gosh.
Until season 2.
2 weeks until season 2 starts.
Which, you guys, the more we've planned and gotten ready for this, I'm so excited. We have so many fun things to talk about. We'll kind of tease some of them in the next couple weeks, but it's going to be so much fun.
It's going to be a great season.
I hope you're looking forward to it as much as we are.
Yes, for sure. We have a replenished goal. We ran out of ideas. Well, we didn't run out of ideas. We ran out of written down ideas.
Yes, and we've got a whole new set of them in here. So
Bethany,
and am I picking?
Do the honors.
Okay. Not looking. Okay, what are we going to talk about? How do you view your past relationships in a positive light?
That's a fantastic question.
Really? Yeah.
Also very timely.
Yeah. That's tough.
This idea, actually, I told her I would give her a shout out before we get started.
Okay.
So this came from my friend and coworker, Andy. She's amazing. Andy, thank you for this idea. Because
this is a good one.
I feel like I need to hear this as much as I need to talk about it.
Well, we know I'm the cynical one.
Yes.
And so it's hard to not be bitter or frustrated or think all men are horrible if your most recent breakup didn't go well, or if the most recent guy you were dating turned out to be not the greatest or didn't make the best decisions, or like if you were the one that ended it. Mm-hmm. That can be kind of your go-to, and that can be tough to change that mindset. But I think you need to.
Oh, yeah.
One, because it's more fun to not be bitter.
And jaded.
And
depressed.
Yes. But 2, there's a right response to things. And nowhere are we called to be bitter or frustrated or angry. God says when you are his child and you're following him, all things work together for good of those that love God and are called according to his purpose. And that good is to make us more like Jesus. That's what the good is. It may not feel good, but there is good in that. And so you need to kind of reframe your question into, what can I learn from this? What can I improve on? Because even if you broke up with the guy because he was a jerk, you're not perfect in that. There are things you can improve. So and be thankful that you're being allowed to learn that. I was just talking, and a friend of mine was saying, it's not fun when your sin is pointed out to you, but it's a grace of God that he shows you that so that you can improve and become more like him. And so even in those not fun, those hard things, I think that's a good mindset to have.
Oh, yeah, I think so, too. And I think this is a place where time is your friend.
Totally.
Because I know, especially initially, those first few days, couple weeks even, if Ben and Jerry become your best friend, we understand.
There's nothing wrong with calling your girlfriends and saying, come over, I need to just be.
Yeah.
I need ice cream and I need friends.
Yeah.
And that's okay, but don't stay there.
No.
That's the key.
I was talking to my boss, actually, very recently about just a dating experience that hadn't gone super well. And I told him, which I have the bad habit of, okay, you hurt me, you mess with me, whatever, walls go up immediately. And
to everyone.
Yeah. And so I was telling my boss that, and he said, if you're going to put walls up, just make sure they're temporary.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang, that's really good. And I didn't want to admit that he was right, because I'm like, no, I am going to protect myself forever. But I think it's so important for you to realize, okay, yes, it's fine to like acknowledge that you're hurt and acknowledge that didn't go the way you thought it would. But like you said, frame it in a way of, what can I learn from this? Not, why did this happen to me?
Yeah.
Because I think when you have that mindset, you're going to be able to grow yourself as a person, as
you will.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you're going to see, okay, honestly, what was my part in this? Mm-hmm. And what do I look for going forward that maybe I didn't think to look for with this guy?
100%.
Because that's one thing that I've really been grateful for, is being able to look back and be like, you know what? I never thought about whether or not that characteristic was important, or that would be considered a red flag. Yeah. But then when I came across that, I'm like, okay, well, now I know, and you can look better next time.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you're still going to find the perfect guy. Like, no guy's going to check every single
No.
box.
Well, but you're going to find what you're looking for, too.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you don't know something's out there to look for, like, you won't know to look for it. But at the same time, I think be careful going into anything in the future that you're not transferring an assumption about all men that really only applied to one.
Yes, that's a
Don't
very
go
good
into
point.
hold on, let me pull up my phone here. I was just talking to someone the other day about this exact thing about, well, yeah, all guys are going to be like this if you're looking for that. And because if you're looking for this one certain flaw, you're going to find it. And it'll be like this trigger of like, nope, done, over. Whereas if you look for the good things, look for the positive things, not to the exclusion of red flags. But hold on, let me find this thing on my phone and I'll read it because it was so good. Okay, it says it's easy to spot a yellow car when you're always thinking of a yellow car. It's easy to spot opportunity when you're always thinking of opportunity. Easy to spot reasons to be mad when you're always thinking of being mad. You become what you constantly think.
I like that.
So watch what you're thinking about because that's what you're going to find. So if the last guy you dated was a liar or he lied about things, and fill in the blank, whatever that thing is, if the next guy you're dating, you won't trust him, you won't believe what he says, you won't take him at his word until he's proven a reason not to, you're not going to get anywhere because you're assuming he's lying to you. And so you have to learn from it, but then as much as you can, take the lesson and then have a clean slate, which is kind of like an oxymoron a little bit.
You learn from it and then you let it go.
Yeah.
And that part is very, very hard for me personally. But I think that that's going to be the healthiest way for you to move forward into a different relationship.
Well, I think we as girls, and it makes no sense, and hopefully I don't say this and you're like, nope, you're the only one. But you kind of go into your next relationship or the next guy you're dating as if you're going to prove it to the past guy.
Oh, yeah.
That you're worth it, that whatever, that...
Totally.
He doesn't factor in at all.
No.
And so that mentality, too, is completely not helpful.
Yeah.
Because he's not... The past guy's not involved. You need to move past him and be present where you're at, but still have those lessons learned and in place.
Yeah. One other thing that might be helpful, I actually do this, and this isn't going to shock you at all. I'm a list person.
Yes.
And so I will, after it's been a while, I will, whether it's I actually write it down or I just am kind of praying through it, I'll think, okay, what were the good things about this relationship that I liked, that I enjoyed, that I would like to see in a future relationship? And what are the things that didn't go well on his part and mine?
I was going to say, it's got to be both sides.
I don't sit there and be like, he didn't do this and he didn't treat me this way and he didn't do... No, it's like, what did I do? And that's, I think, for me personally, my last serious relationship, I ended up doing this, and it was very eye-opening. And like you said, it's very humbling because you don't like having that stuff pointed out to you. You think, oh, I'm not in the wrong. It was all... No, I go back now, and I'm thinking, like, I could have handled that conversation differently. I could have treated him differently. I could have been...
I was feeling this way. I should have told him.
Yes, I should have been more upfront and honest. I should have... I could have been kinder to him in certain situations, even if maybe he did mess up. My response to him could have been totally different. Yeah. And so that's something that you can then take and be like, okay, God, help me work through these things. Help me grow in these areas. And you can, pray through those. You can bring them to your mentor. You can talk to your friends about it, whatever your circle looks like. But taking this as a learning experience, not just what you're looking for, but how you can grow and learn and develop as well. Because my mom always says, like, this is why you date. Yeah. Like, it's to learn and to grow. And if you're just dating and then getting bitter and annoyed and then want to go, like, move on and then hope it works, and then if it doesn't, get bitter and annoyed again, like, that's not the point.
Or if you go into it thinking the first guy you date is going to be the guy you marry, and if it's not, then there's failure. You failed. That's not the case. No. That relationship didn't progress, but you can learn from it. It doesn't mean you're a failure.
No, not at all.
You move forward. And I think one of the biggest things you can learn is in any relationship, romantic, friendship, siblings, it doesn't matter, human, any relationship, you're not responsible for their reactions. You're responsible for being obedient to the Lord and his word. You're responsible for how, like you said, could I have been kinder? You're responsible for that. Mm-hmm. You're not responsible for what they do. So if it doesn't work, your focus is your conscience before the Lord. And that is both in how you were in the relationship and then how you deal with it afterwards. But that's a tough thing to learn. And I saw a quote not too long ago that said something to the effect of, love is never wasted because its value is not in being reciprocated. And that was just like...
That'll preach.
Yeah. I mean, that was so just not even eye-opening, that's not the right word, but it was just so, like, pointed and so biblical. Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, think of Christ and his love for us. He died for our sins. And because we couldn't do anything about it. And if he were expecting us to reciprocate that, like, it all falls apart. Like, it would not work. And so just, if we're called to be like Christ, then as we are in relationship with anyone, human, people, like, that should be our mindset too. And so I think if you go into dating relationships, go into them with that as your mindset, even if they don't end the greatest, you can evaluate and know that your conscience is clear. You can apologize if you need to, even after the fact. You know, maybe it's not a, hey, let's get back together, but it's a, you know, I had a part in this and will you forgive me for that? And then even then, you're not responsible for how they react to that, but you are learning and growing and becoming more like Jesus through the end of that relationship even.
Yeah.
So.
I think that's so good. I think that's a great way to end it.
Okay.
You tied that up so beautifully.
Perfect.
Well, thanks, guys, for joining us for another episode of CouchCast. We have one more next week.
Yep.
And then 2 weeks from today is season 2.
You guys, I am so excited.
Me too.
I cannot wait.
Our voices won't sound like this the whole time.
No! We'll come back down to a normal
let's
level.
Talk like normal people.
Okay, so yeah, be on the lookout. We're going to kind of give you some hints, give you some clues as to what we're going to be talking about. I'm super excited about our season premiere episode. It is going to be so much fun. You guys aren't going to want to miss it. You're going to enjoy going along with us for that one. So, tune in next week for CouchCast and then 2 weeks for season 2, and we will see you then. But until then, I'm Bethany.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is Looking for the Middle.